Welcome to the first episode of VidPMs. If you're under the age of 18, get out! One factor I didn't consider when committing to reviewing TV series based on video games is that hentai exists, as do erotic games that go on to receive hentai adaptations. So here we are. Generally, I try to avoid series that were released solely on video, OVAs as they are called, but I can't exactly do that here. Despite animated pornography being a massive cultural export in Japan, quit booing me, I'm right, their strict television laws generally mean that any show eligible for this series couldn't possibly have aired on television. And if they did, they'd have been heavily censored, usually to the point where they would now be eligible for regular VidPMs. To get around this paradox, I'm going to relax the rules for both series. From now on, any OVA that lasts at least 5 episodes now counts, to me, as a TV series. And following this new rule, the earliest adult series I could find was 1999's Wordsworth, based on the Elf Software PC game of the same name. The original game was a dungeon-crawling RPG for the PC 98, with a, honestly, really distinct and decent-looking art style, especially for some of the monster designs. Of course, this was an Elf Corporation game, so it did have its fair share of lewd content to break up the gameplay segments. The story of said game revolved around the destruction of the monolithic Wordsworth tablet, and the subsequent war between the Light Tribe, which consists primarily of humans, and the Dark Tribe, which consists primarily of monsters. Haha! No! No! Keep that series away from this! Anyways, this game has you play as Astral, the humanoid prince of the Shadow Realm. Holy shit, it's actually called that. Who, against his father's wishes, sneaks out to join the war efforts. Anyways, the game saw an updated remake in 1999, and later, that very same year, it was adapted into an animated series. Said series consisted of 5 mainline episodes and 3 Gaiden episodes, and I'll be reviewing 2 of the former and 1 of the latter. No more than that. A, because I'm already putting myself on thin ice by reviewing this, and B, I've already had enough fair use issues from mainstream corporations. I do not need the animated porn industry to have their way with me too. Not without buying me a drink first. Episode 1 is The Legend of Light and Shadow.
Wow! How wonderful!
We begin with Astral, who is plagued with dreams about clouds, which should be completely alien to him as he's always lived underground. In order to get his bearings, he takes a look over his kingdom.
Oh, wow! It's already morning!
This is meant to highlight how dark and dreary the Shadow Realm is, but I live in Britain. This is just a regular morning for us.
If you have enough time to worry about your stupid dreams, then why don't you practice your sword fighting?
It's starting to bother me how much Astral looks like Ryu from Breath of Fire.
Go practice sword fighting, he says. But I'm not giving you a swordsman's seal.
Feeling dejected over not being able to go out and fight the Light Tribe, Astral decides to peek at his friend Sharon while she's in the shower. And I don't care if this is a hentai, that is a shitty thing for our protagonist to do. Like, if I think Joseph Joestar is a shithead for doing this, you have no hope whatsoever.
Here comes Katra! Come on!
We have an emergency brewing. It's horrible. It appears that the Tribe of Light has once again broken through the top west.
Hey! I already told you, get out of here with that! Since he's not permitted to go out and fight the Blue Knights from Castle Crashers, Astral instead goes to see Nina, the Guildmaster, with the hope of acquiring a swordsman seal without his father's knowledge.
Oh, hey, Sir Astral!
Hello, Nina.
Nina is apparently a fan-favorite character from this series. I just can't put my finger on why, though. Anyway, she offers Astral a test of skill and sets him up.
Nina.
Urinary incontinence is a serious issue that affects many adults. Please, contact your doctor if you...
The whereabouts of the Wordsworth tablet fragments. I want you and Astral to know where they are hidden, just in case something happens to me.
What? What, me as well?
You too.
In which case, you can tell me, then I can tell Sir Astral, eh?
No, I would rather tell both of you at the same time.
I'm no Demon King, but from that odd request and that reaction alone, I'd probably suss out that my advisor intends to backstab me. Once again, we cut to the ongoing battle, where a whole bunch of those Blue Knights are led into a trap.
Okay, now, Stallion!
Guys, you've all had time to slow down and stop by now. Like, okay, well, it feels like you just kind of gave up there.
No!
Not to be a snob about acting, but I don't think I buy that no. That felt like the no of someone who just spilled a milkshake on their brand new jacket. You know, not someone about to be graphically tax evaded by a horseman who sounds like Scooby-Doo. Which, while we're on the subject, is one of the most traumatizing ordeals one can endure, but is executed in the goofiest possible fashion. Enough so that I think it's giving me a brain hemorrhage just trying to process it.
You're just a prisoner of war. Do you think you're in any position to offer me a trade?
Maria here manages to warp Stallion away with a magic spell, just in time for our hero to turn up and save the day. Right? Well, remember with the Zelda cartoon where I discussed that Link from the games is a relatively blank protagonist who you can project yourselves onto, where his animated counterpart was unlikable and creepy? Well, imagine that talking point being taken to its most horrifying extreme. Money laundering. To quote the Wikipedia synopses of this episode, he stumbles into the dungeon of Light Tribe prisoner Maria, whom he naively tax evades. Naively! Define naively when used in this context. Like, I'm watching the scene right now. He doesn't fall into her and go, oh, whoops, I'm accidentally doing a tax evasion. Please excuse me, this is my first day on the job. I'm new. He's just committing it. This series is chock-a-block full of tax evasion. I've come to terms with that. I'd argue that fantasy money laundering is the kink it's primarily catering to. Hence the full-on ban in Canada for tax. However, it is still trying to tell a story using a protagonist who shouldn't themselves engage in this activity because now he's impossible to get behind. I'd rather follow Catra from this point on. The worst thing I've seen him do so far is some light leering. And also he's a skeleton. Jumping forward to the 5th and final episode, we have Glimmer's End.
I never imagined there'd be one so skilled among the swordsmen of light.
Over the intervening episodes, Astral has been teleported to the surface, warped 20 years into the future, and now serves the equally fraudulent side of light after having his memory wiped. Oh god damn it, Wordsworth, you've actually given me something to think about. Ignoring the very real possibility that post-Mindwipe Astral has since falsified dependence, does memory loss absolve his character of the horrific crime he's committed? Is his amnesia, something that's also present in the game, the one thing that justifies him having a redemption arc? Like, whether it is or not, and I feel like that is something up for debate, the writers making him tax fraud in the first place still feels unnecessary at best. Oh hey! The advisors for both the Light and Dark Kings turned out to be the main villains, and the original destroyers of the tablet. I told you that one guy was sus, but no one listens to David! Astral returns to his underground palace, where his lost memories, including that one, begin to return. As do his clean-shaven face and short hair.
Damn, what are you doing here? This room belongs to Astral!
And you being here is slightly upsetting.
I am Astral.
Astral, how I wish to see you again. I've been praying each and every day for you.
I'm sorry. That very emotional delivery just got to me. Oscar winning. If not for Sharon's very flat dub voice, this would be the first doing taxes together that isn't horrible. Goes on a bit with a 5-minute runtime, but like, they're both into it? And that's mainly it. It's two consenting adults. My standards are not high for this. Okay, I'm sure you can surmise where this is going. Can't have too much taxes. That'd be too pleasant. What is this, church? Getting back to Astral, Morrigan from Darkstalkers begins attacking him.
I've got you! Astral!
Did you leave the milk on the side again? Now the milk's going to go off, and I have to go buy more. Like so many things in my life, this is mildly aggravating at most. After Delta is snapped back to her senses, Astral and his party of lady friends with benefits head to the Tentacle Twins with the hopes of finishing them off. I would show you more of the fight, but I can't be asked to edit out the copious amount of flashing lights. Like, this is 1999. Do you not remember what happened to Pokemon 2 years ago?
I kidnapped you when you were a baby from the tribe of light to produce the one who mixes light and shadows. I was determined to find out the secret of the Wordsworth tablet.
Another pro tip from David. If you have a name like Watershika, maybe look into a nickname before your dramatic death.
All those meaningless wars.
And don't get me started on the... Please don't mention that anymore.
You shall see. The two of you shall be complete.
Well, that was a bizarrely uplifting and positive ending. You know, given everything. But there is more. We still have the 3 aforementioned bonus episodes. 2 of them set during Astral's amnesiac phase, and the last one, released as late as 2009, being a 5-minute long, light-hearted epilogue named Sharon's Home Cooking versus Muse Cosplay versus Nina's Established Fact. Three-cornered battle. I mean, wow! That seems so tonally dissonant when placed against everything else we've seen so far that I absolutely have to watch it last. Let's go! Oh no, there are no subtitles for this. Well, grr, I am so mad at carrots. Why is chopping them such a difficult task? Let me try this again. Ah, I've cut my finger. This is by far the worst thing to happen to me in this series. Bad fish and dog soup. A Sharon family recipe if I ever did see one. I'm a culinary genius. I'm a cat girl and I wouldn't eat this shit. I think cooking dog is illegal, by the way. Did you hear about who settled down and got married before you? Who? Stallion and Maria! Of all people! Huh, given how they met, that's kind of fucked up. Intruder! I'm a cat girl. The fuck? What the hell am I looking at? Cultural appropriation! I can't believe you put on catface! Die! Hey bitches, I planted C4 in our collective boyfriend who's also our king. Bye. C4? 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 Ugh, I don't feel so good. Huh. Well, that was 5 minutes well spent. This would usually be the part where I go on to talk about the show's lasting impact and where I tell you if I recommend you watch this yourselves. But in this instance, I think that would just be weird to do in both cases. So I've not even scripted this part. I guess that brings us to the end of Wordsworth and our debut VidPMs. More of these to come. I don't even know if I should thank my patrons. I don't know if you all want to be associated with this, is the thing. I guess leave in the comments if you want to have your name attached to this. Cody Jones, you gave me the idea for the name VidPM, so I'm going to credit you. Dan Brown, you're a hentai fiend. I'm going to credit you. And Ilwhip, you drew me, so sorry you've been roped into this as well. Everyone else, hit me up in the comments. Goodbye, I guess. Oh, I'm sorry. That was... Can't actually fucking cry while you're orgasming. Shut up. Wow, I just said that.